Hello, my name is Resilan, and welcome to Satisfactory. We are picking back up here now after some time has elapsed. So at this point, I have unlocked Tier 3 and Tier 4, and I have unlocked coal power. So at this point, I have the coal power done. I've got the resources for the coal generators. I've kind of put over here on a to-do list. I've got my 8 coal generators. I've got 4 water extractors. I'm only going to need 3. I originally thought I might do 4, but I probably won't do but 3. You only need 3 to feed 8 power plants. But I was thinking about doing 4 and potentially underclocking them. We'll see. But there's my to-do list. I'm going to need a lot of reinforced plates. I'm going to need a lot of rotors. I need cable, copper sheets. Some of these things I have or I don't have. So I was going to go through some of the things that I've done. Just some of the changes that I have made. So at this point in the last episode, this particular resource was feeding out into a plant here. I've moved some things around and kind of put some ideas, some corner walls up where I think the corners of the building will go. I'm feeding the things up to where I can go underneath them here, but the layout is still the same. I'm still coming in here. I am splitting this out. That is bringing 60 ore node out. I am feeding that into 2 smelters. I am producing the iron bars out of there. That's producing rods. This over here is bringing the rods. It's the same setup that we saw before. Bringing some of the rods over here in order to produce screws and sending the screws up and over, as well as sending the iron rods up and over to a storage facility now that I've added. So that's a change. I've moved things around just to make it a little bit neater. You can see that I've got iron plates here. Still the same setup. It's 1 node pulling out at 100%, feeding 2 smelters and 2 constructors, and then taking the plates and running them to the storage facility. We have moved the concrete up. We've actually now moved this around. It was down on the ground before. I've moved it up. I'm feeding data into 2 of these manufacturers. You'll also notice that that bar is white. Well, when it's on, it's white. It's turned off for a second here. But as it's yellow, I have overclocked this to 150% so that it produces 90 parts per minute. With 90 parts per minute, that allows me to operate 2 constructors at 100% efficiency so that I'm getting 100% of the components there. Now, with that being 90, one of the things that I just noticed here is that that belt is not a Tier 2 belt, and that is a problem. In order for the efficiency to be in there, that has to be Tier 2, that has to be Tier 2, and then I also have to have the lifter be Tier 2 as well. So there was a mistake there that we could see. Now it's coming out of there. I've got a belt capable of carrying 120. It's bringing in 90. That means, of course, that it can carry 90 when we get to that point, and it no longer has a backup in there. But that feeds these at 100%. So still at 100% efficiency there, at 100% efficiency here. And just cleaned things up. We're producing concrete, running this over the line. We've got plates. They go off on a little jot over there, but they still come in here. And then we can see here rods, screws, concrete, plates. All of that is coming into this facility. You'll also notice if we come over here, we've got copper wire, we have cable, and we have copper sheets that are feeding into this little storage facility. Now, there's no walls or anything now. It's just a bunch of storage boxes that's here. You will notice that we have a resource sink. I have built the facility for the resource sink, and we have purchased a few items from this. We bought the double ramp pack with some of the things. We bought coated concrete foundation material. Or no, that's not available. We bought... Maybe didn't buy anything from this particular thing. In the architecture, we did buy a couple of things. In here, we bought the concrete pillars so that we can put concrete pillars under things. I don't like things that are suspended in air. We also bought ladders. Those are sometimes necessary components. For the attachments, we haven't purchased the attachments yet. We do have some things unlocked here that we could get. We did buy the door walls so that we could actually put doors in. When we get to that point, we're not really building buildings yet, but we're starting to buy these items. Some other things that I will point out here, we have done a good bit of research. You'll notice that in the alien organisms, we've now unlocked a whole bunch of things here. We've done a whole bunch of research into the Caterium line. We don't have smart splitters yet. this will need some AI limiters. We'll have to unlock this. That requires quick wire, which we don't have yet. That would be fairly easy to get, but we haven't done that yet. We've done a little bit with mycelia, nutrients. We've unlocked the overclocking, as you noticed earlier. We've unlocked various things here in the quartz line. We do have the Explorer accessible to unlock it, but we would need crystal oscillators, which are a bit out of our reach at the moment. And so we've unlocked a few things with the sulfur as well. So we've been doing our research as we went along, kind of making some things up there. So we've seen what we have there. We've moved the space elevator up onto the platform. We've created a little area here that produces biofuel. So it automates the production. We can take the leaves or the wood and convert this into solid biofuel. So we choose what this constructor does. Right now it's actually set to take biomass and convert it to solid biofuel. So once we produce the biomass, we can drop it in here, feed it into the item, and it builds out for us. Now the concrete facility has been expanded. If we come over here, you'll notice I am running this stuff back to a common area, and that's mainly to make it convenient for me to grab things. But I did expand, and we built some additional facility here to take the other ore node, pull that out, also at 100%, bring that up into some smelters and smelt that, then to take that and split that in. So we have 2 smelters, and we bring the 2 smelters in, we combine that into a splitter and split that out into 3 constructors. The 3 constructors are producing the copper sheets, not iron sheets, and then running the copper sheets around over here. Now I still have the box here. It feeds through the box and then on over into the storage facility on the other side. Now I'm using this pack utility mod here, and I'm going to speed this up. Here I was already flying. So let me get this up, just to make it faster for the video and what we're doing. So if we come over here across the desert, we have run a power line over here, and we have a small facility over here that is doing nothing more than it is 1 extractor pulling out Caterium ore, bringing that into a smelter, and bringing those components into an awesome sink. And you can see that I have coupons here that I can purchase things with. So this is how I'm getting my coupons at the moment. This is very small but very good item, in that the Caterium ingots produce a fair amount of capacity, or a fair amount of points for the effort or the energy expenditure being made. Once I get more, I could do more smelters here, and I could even do constructors and construct quick wire and some of that, but I would need higher capacity belts. Right now this is just tier 1 belts. It's just cheap, easy, and it produces enough for right now and what I'm doing. So that is the expansion of the plant and what I have done so far. I've expanded out into and unlocked coal power. Now I'm gathering up the resources to build my first coal power plant. My first coal power plant is going to be on top of that hill up there where the cursor is pointing. There's 3 pure coal nodes. I'm going to use one of those coal nodes and produce power using that. We will start out with the Mark 1 miner pulling out 120 coal. 120 coal will feed 8 coal power plants. So we will bring those out into the 8 coal power plants, and that will produce 600 megawatts of power, and that will be fully automated power that I don't have to do, sit here, and produce biofuel or harvest items to produce. So this was the second place session of this particular playthrough and the work that I got done there. Thanks everyone.